I'll just say, hey, can I help you? Now, if he wants to connect again that way, he'll do this. He'll do something similar. But he has to do something because if he wants to attack me, he's got to get past my hands. Well, thanks, Jim. Glad to meet you too. Okay, so now did you see how he had to deal with this? If he doesn't deal with it, he wants to punch right here. Go through them. Go ahead, go through. Well, it doesn't matter anyway because these are my connectors. And so when he comes out here, whatever he does, come on, right on the inside. I can still be with him and see I'm not putting any force into this. The wonderful thing about Aikido also is as our sensei got older and older and weaker because he was just getting old, he could still do Aikido with the biggest, strongest people because it wasn't about him overpowering them. It was about him blending with them, harmonizing with them, and going with the movements that these attackers would do. So we go through a variety of things. See, he didn't take my hand that time, but he still has to deal with it. Okay, now you see him backing up. So I would never do anything to someone who is backing up because what are they doing? Yes, they're saying, no, I'm not going to attack. So we say, okay, well, that's okay. I was just going to give you a hug. Oh, that time you attacked. It doesn't matter. Well, Sensei, if you saw the videos, a lot of times he's smiling during the whole thing. He's a little old man. He's about this tall. And he's smiling because his partners, he said he loves his partners. And you who do martial arts, you love the martial arts, right? Yeah? Yeah. So if you love it, you have to be thankful for your partner. Because without a partner, we're in our own room doing our martial arts. But with my partner, hi Jim, thanks so much for coming today. I really appreciate you coming and attacking me. So now I can do Aikido. So even if I'm this small, and as you can see, here I'm gonna overpower you this time with my superior strength. Oh, well, okay, so maybe my strength wasn't so superior. But this time, I'm just going to allow you to do whatever you like to do. Send as much energy any way you want. And so now I'm not doing anything. Okay, I can do this. I can be really strong. But see how that affects him? Because his body feels me getting strong, and it makes his body get strong. So when I stay soft, hi Jim. See, nothing. Isn't that funny? It's so weird. I still think it's weird. I've been doing it for 30 years and I think it's weird. Oh, shoot. Well, we don't always do anything on our knees. But if you listen to Mr. Castro, he told you who my first teacher was. Anybody remember the teacher's first name? Megan. Now, is Megan a male name or a female name?
Well, it depends on how you pronounce it.
Pardon me?
Depends on how you pronounce it.
Oh, okay. Well, she was a female. Okay, so my first teacher, I outweighed her. I was bigger than her. I was stronger than her. And yet, when I would grab her, that's what would happen to me. And when I hit her, that's what would happen to me. And I thought, well, that's really interesting because I'm so much stronger and bigger and more powerful than you. How is this happening? And that's what got me interested in Aikido. How can this little lady do all these things? And you know, she brought somebody in named Mary Heine. Mary Heine was the first time I ever saw a grandmother doing Aikido, doing martial arts. A grandmother. And she looked like a fairy godmother. You know, kind of old and small. And she would say, when your partner comes, when your attacker comes, you bring him into your world and you take care of him. And then they sit down and have a cup of tea. She didn't say that, I added that part. But she did, I was amazed to see this grandmother, this little old lady with big attackers. And then when I grabbed her, I felt the same kind of thing. There was nothing there except love and peace. So now we're going to switch roles because that's what we do in Aikido. In our practice, the teacher becomes the student and the student becomes the teacher. So I'm going to give him something here like this.
Right.
And then he's going to go through first things first. This is how we work sometimes. Is the first thing he wants to do is push back against this, because when you get grabbed, you get a mental thing that goes, wait a minute, I gotta do something about this. And I call that a limbic system response because it's coming from hardwiring in the brain. It's the natural default mechanism of fight or flight or freeze. Anybody ever heard those terms before?
Yep.
So we stimulate this by coming in a slow way with intensity. With intention without intensity. So Jim's only been practicing for about 5 years. I've got 25 years over him. So I could probably hurt him if he makes a mistake. So I don't want to do that because then I have one less student to work with, one less person who's going to help me. So I'm going to keep my attack the intention without the intensity. And what he's going to do first is he's going to let his natural instinct come up. So his natural instinct is to fight back. So then he's going to find a way to look at me in a different way. Instead of looking at me like an attacker, he's going to look at me like, what? Like what? Someone he likes.
I'm on the spot.
Yeah. As someone, whoa. And all of a sudden, everything I'm giving him directs me to the floor. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is I'm putting pressure on him. You can see it now, right? I'm going to do that, but I'm going to keep that on. And then, but because we're working this way, I'm not going to let him do it wrong. But when he does it right, I can't help myself. It isn't that I changed anything about what I was doing, because right now, if you can imagine me grabbing him like this, I got him, right? Yeah?
And he's strong, by the way.
All right, I've got another one for the salt mine. I can get 50 bucks for this guy in the right place. Whoa! Did you see what he did? It's because he did so little. All he did was kind of adjust the way he's looking at me and let his energy flow outward. And we call Aikido because ki is universal energy, and sometimes people call that love. Universal energy. All is love, love is everything. That's what they say. Some people will take their word for it. Because what I think he's really looking for, and this is going to sound really weird to some people, but do you know what an attacker is really looking for?
Love.
Exactly.
Connection. Another way is connection.
Right. But
connection to their
central part.
Yeah.
But the way we really look at that, it's really love.
Yeah.
So if he's looking for love, and I say, you're not getting it here, buddy.
Yeah, I want
No way. Or if he's looking for love, and I say, well, I don't know if I have any. No, don't look for here. Both ways, both of those ways are saying, you're not getting it from me, right? Either I don't have it, or I'm not going to let it out. But when he grabs me here, and I can change the way I look at him, and you know, we all know love. Who hasn't felt love in their life? No hands. I love that. That's great. Because when you feel love, there's a different kind of feeling than when you feel afraid or when you feel mad at somebody. Do you ever notice that? And when somebody's mad, they're all tight and they're tense. Tightness and tenseness can make for a good attack. Kind of scares you, right? And if I'm mad and I'm concentrating my energy into a flow, and Mr. Castro, I'm sure you work on focusing energy, right? When you're working with martial arts, and you work a lot with energy flows, right? So I'm going to send my energy flow right in here like this. But by his expression of energy, did you see how he just turned me? Well, he didn't really turn me. Our energies turned together. So Aikido is the way of harmony with universal energy, okay, or love. So I'm going to get here, and I've got this concentrated flow. It opens up his system. I can't get through it.